Chapter 3 The Wounded Butterfly. When Dad and I made it up to Traverse City, he wanted to show me the office building where he used to work at when he lived in town. We drove over to the building and took a look through the big glass front doors of the building. Unfortunately, there wasn't anyone else around the building because it was a Saturday morning. We turned around and headed back to the car. Along the way, I noticed a butterfly lying motionless on the ground in the parking lot. The butterfly's back was bent up at a sharp angle. It looked like it was impossible for the butterfly to fly. Dad reached down and set a portion of the grapevine on the ground near the injured butterfly. The butterfly immediately climbed up onto the vine. Dad then lifted the vine and the butterfly into the air so the butterfly was in between the two of us. The butterfly walked out onto the back of Dad's hand. It was almost like it was getting into position to launch off of Dad's fingers. We both started to say a positive, happy prayer for the butterfly. "Fly, butterfly, fly," we said excitedly. We truly believed that the injured butterfly was going to find the strength to be able to fly. We said this phrase over and over, but the injured butterfly did not fly. Dad then moved his hand over towards my hand, so our hands were right next to each other, and the butterfly crawled onto my hand. We started saying, "Fly, butterfly, fly," even more loudly and with a more excited tone than before. We closely watched every time the injured butterfly moved. It crawled out onto the end of one of my fingers. It tickled. We kept praying and hoping and expecting that the butterfly would fly. Suddenly, the injured butterfly started to flap its wings. But it didn't lift off of my finger. We were getting really excited. It seemed that the injured butterfly was also beginning to believe that it could fly. We continued to pray out loud, "Fly, butterfly, fly!" Then suddenly, the butterfly flapped its wings faster than before and started to lift off of my finger. I couldn't believe it when the injured butterfly finally lifted into the air. Higher and higher it went until it finally started to disappear from view. It was incredible. Our prayers had been answered. The butterfly, who we later named Flutter, was free to roam the sky. We jumped up and down and shouted, "We did it! We did it! We did it!" We excitedly waved our goodbyes as Flutter the butterfly flew off to begin its next incredible adventure. Dad and I were super excited. We got into the car and headed north up the Leelanau Peninsula as planned in the direction of Flutter. We were happy as could be. Earlier that morning, while we were driving to Traverse City, I told Dad that it would be cool to swing on a swing over water. Amazingly, just 10 minutes after watching Flutter head north, we came upon a marina park that just happened to have swings that swung right over the water. Lake Michigan water levels, as previously mentioned, were really high that summer. The water level near Traverse City was so high that the water in the Grand Traverse Bay came up and right to the front of the park swing set. I couldn't believe it. It seemed to me that Flutter had led me right to the swing I was hoping to find. Thank you, Flutter.